More gaffes and awkward moments courtesy of President Biden. Our 81-year-old commander-in-chief raised eyebrows after a confusing speech in Colorado where he referred to his predecessor, former President Trump, as congressman. And he joked about having the ability to blow up the world. See for yourself.
Now look, my Marine carries that. It has a code to blow up the world. That doesn't, this is not nuclear weapons, is it? All right, okay.
By the way, I cut the federal deficit of over $7 billion while doing all this. I am friends with your leader, Mr. Moon, we're good guys. We could use it to strengthen the Social Security and Medicare system instead of cutting them, or like Congressman Trump and Bo want to do.
Wow. Well, those first comments, a reference to the nuclear football as he had that conversation. His second in command, Vice President Kamala Harris, is not helping. She offered up an absolutely bizarre response when asked if Biden is too old to run for re-election.
I would say that age is more than a chronological fact. I spent a whole lot of time with our president, be it in the Oval Office or the Situation Room and in other places. And I can tell you, as I just mentioned, not only is he absolutely authoritative in rooms around the globe, but in the Oval Office, meeting with members of Congress, meeting with leaders in industry, meeting with community leaders.
You know, Martha, this is a real issue. David Axelrod, of course, esteemed voice on the Democrat side of the aisle, said in front of the camera what he, meaning Biden, is projecting is causing people concern, and that is worrisome.
You know, in a weird way, I think people have almost gotten kind of used to it. It's like they watch him and they expect, you sort of excuse the blurred speech and the strange axioms because everyone's gotten so used to it. And then you watch people who are articulate speak in a similar forum, presidents of other countries, and you go, oh yeah, that's actually what it should sound like. You know, while we were watching that, I was watching you, Patrick, and I got a reveal.
Patrick.
You know, as a former Democrat congressman, you were kind of like, oh no, I can't watch this, and it's beyond funny. It's scary. It is scary, but there's no plan B, is there?
Well, listen, he's to be the nominee on the Democratic side. He's had a speech impediment his whole life. He's been upfront about that. And
but this is more than that.
Oh, come on, Patrick. That's a stutter. That was a stutter.
Right,
These aren't stutters. That's not stuttering.
Listen, he's not as articulate as Barack Obama or JFK. I will.
But how do you reverse that? My question becomes politically, how do you flip something that, to Martha's point, people have grown to accept?
Yeah, well, I think part of it's quality over quantity, right? I mean, he's clearly tired and stumbling over his words, et cetera. And it was a great day. It was a great announcement about these hundreds of new jobs in Colorado on green energy. But he fumbled, and he can't joke about the nuclear football. I mean, that's not right.
But does quality over quantity mean more of like the basement strategy, except the oval strategy, we're going to see less from him?
No, I think the one-on-one stuff, and I think where he's, you know, obviously talking to someone. I mean, we had a saying in the Army that people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. He cares, and pound for pound, Joe Biden cares about people. He's a hard worker. He stumbles, though, and it's not a good look. But I do think the more you can get in front of people and show them how much he cares, that's a positive thing. That's the quality that I'm talking about that the American people want to see.
You know, Rachel, I'm curious, and I've wondered for a long time. He is good.
He's really good. I like it.
Rachel, I've wondered for a long time because I had seen reporting, I think it was about last year, that there was some indication that Biden would try to get out of a debate. They were counting on Trump fighting with the Presidential Debate Commission, the RNC, and him not having to debate. Do you think we will see Joe Biden vis-a-vis, if it's Trump?
There'll be a pandemic. There'll be something. There will be no debate between Donald Trump and Joe Biden. I don't know what they're going to do. I actually agreed with Kamala Harris that, you know, it's not really the age. It's the cognition. And I would say to you, Patrick, and again, I'm not trying to put you on the, you're in a tough spot. And I do
Merry
think
Christmas to you, Rachel.
You're doing a great job. I love it. You're really putting a really happy face on this. But if you just look back 3 years ago to how he spoke, it was different. 4 years ago. I mean, this is like slurring. And by the way, when he was talking about the football, the nuclear football, who was he talking to? Was he talking to security? Who were those people?
Yes.
That is crazy grandpa stuff.
In fairness, I did think it was just a lighthearted moment. I don't even think that he realized he was on camera in that moment. So I don't count that among his many gaffes. Doesn't take away.
That's scary.
However,
Listen, we could roll the tape. MSNBC rolls the tape where Donald Trump is saying he beat Barack Obama in a general election. He had a hard time walking down the ramp at West Point a few years ago. Listen, that's part of it. In politics in America, it's getting so nasty. I'm not. This is directed to you, but it's Christmas season.
No, I can be
Show
Emily.
some grace. I mean, come on.
Emily.
Yeah, respectfully, I think the only thing Americans are more exhausted by, other than the president and the vice president's utter failures and represented incompetence all day, every day, is the talking points excusing it. We know it's not stuttering. There is no comparison whatsoever between what our commander-in-chief looks like and says and what our prior commander-in-chief has done. And I think as a taxpayer, what I don't understand is why there's no demand for accountability. I thought it was telling after the vice president excused her 30% approval rate on the sexist and racist media that one of the responses said, apparently personal accountability is at an all-time low while victimhood is at an all-time high. If you were an employer, you would demand some type of accountability from people you are paying. Show me the work. We learned that ever since we were little. Why now, when we demand from our president and vice president, show us your work, do we get a deflection? Do we get comparisons to JFK? Do we get utter abject failures on the world stage and at home? And somehow I'm supposed to say Merry Christmas?
But Emily, he was there that day to announce hundreds of new jobs that the Congresswoman there voted against. He is a workhorse, not a show horse. And I know it wasn't pretty, but
there's no company
company
that would hire him as a CEO. Not one. And this is the most important thing.
We will continue to watch, and I hope we see that presidential debate because the American people deserve it.
Hey everyone, I'm Emily Campagno. Catch me and my co-hosts Harris Faulkner and Kaylee McEnany on Outnumbered every weekday at 12 p.m. Eastern, or set your DVR. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page for daily highlights.